high five.
Packers jumping around. They rush 4. Plenty of time for John now. Squeezes, steps up in the pocket. LA can run. He's going to 10. Head first. He dives at the 5-yard line.
Manning out of the gun. Manning lets it fly. It's caught by Thomas. There's the record for Peyton Manning.
Rushing forward, ball comes out of the hands of Newton. It's on the ground and still on the ground. Picked up by T.J. Ward at the 4-yard line.
Here we go. First snap of the overtime. The Broncos have been in 3 overtime games this year. They won them all. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Stiff arm got him 3 to the 30, to the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on the New England. They win it on the first.
Nothing wrong with Orange and Blue Podcast.
What's up, Broncos country? Hey, MHRT fam. How you doing, NRW crew? And welcome to another awesome episode of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue Podcast. I am your host, Johnny Baki, and with me, as always, my best friend in the world, godfather to my kids, and my co-host, Isaiah Pookie Knight. Just kidding. Today it's Mundungus Creevy. Yeah, all right. I know, right? Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, you filthy animal. How are you?
I don't think I have any green on right now.
No, well,
green on my phone and it's in my hand, so that works.
Oh, that does not count. That does not count for nothing. Pinched, man, pinched. All right, no, I'm not solo, Mobad. I am on with Mundungus. I just wanted to play the whole, have fun with the whole Isaiah thing at first there. So, hey, welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. We are a fan-led Broncos-based podcast that goes live every Thursday, 7654 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch on the MHRT Network. Do not miss our other shows. Tuesday, the newly branded 5280 podcast. Same times, same place. We also have Broncos Breakdown with Bronco Bill videos dropping on Wednesdays, so don't miss those. Make sure, if this is your first time here, and even if it's not and you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, get it out there to your friends because they want to be part of the NRW crew. They just don't know it yet. Mundungus, how are you today, my friend?
Peachy.
Well, I mean, given the week we've had, I would hope so.
It's been fantastic. There's news everywhere. Like, you look at the difference between this offseason and last offseason, such a big difference.
And last offseason felt like it was everywhere. It felt like there was always,
it took forever.
News. It felt like there was news, but looking back at it now, no. This season is so different. So different.
I love it.
I do too. I
love it.
So let's jump into the chat real quick. We've got Avatar, as always, the first commenter. Always, every time, I swear. What's up, Broncos country? I'm excited for this season with Russ and the gang. Russ and the gang. I like it. I can dig that. We got Mobad saying, oh, wait, no, that's not the one I was going for. Here we go. Mobad. Broncos country. Let's ride. I'm loving that phrase. I mean, I know I've heard it before, but with Russell Wilson being the one that's kind of saying it.
I thought it was let's rise there for a second. It's like, I was quickly corrected on Twitter. That is not let's rise.
Not let's rise. It is let's ride. And it's so much fun. I love it. It's great. We got Dave Glassman in the house. We got EJ in the house. It's good to see all of you. Mile High 6 all the way up in Canada. What's up, my friend? He says, sup, happy St. Patrick's Day. I've got my beer here. Normally, and I'm kind of sad, normally it's green beer because it's the St. Patrick's Day tradition. But somewhere in the last year, my food coloring got thrown away without my knowledge. So it's just regular, good old golden beer today. So, it
I
is
like
what it
this
is.
one. It's ZZ Top 2.0.
That's right. LaGrange, baby.
LaGrange.
So, given just the absolute absence of news all week and things to talk about. I mean, what do you feel like we could possibly talk about today, Mundungus?
I have no idea. I will, I'll say this though. Russell Wilson obviously is the biggest news ever of all time. But I am more excited about DJ Jones than anybody else other than Russ that we've added to the team. All last year it was we have no pass rush up the middle. We can't stop the run up the middle. DJ Jones.
Yes. Oh my God. I can't wait to talk more about him and more about, I'm excited about Randy Gregory, man. A lot of people are down on him, but we'll get to that. But I'm pumped about that signing. I really am. I'm big on, again, we'll get to it here soon. I'm big on second chances. I'm big on giving people second chances. And I think he's going to work out for us. So let's get down to it. Biggest news of the week. The league year officially opened up yesterday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And literally the moment, I guarantee you, they haven't shown it yet, but I like to imagine that they had a clock ticking down in the conference room, and Russ is sitting there with Sierra next to him and his kids running around in the background. He has got the contract in front of him. He's got the pen in his hand, and they are literally sitting there watching the clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's been the last 6 years have been so bad. I was just waiting for us to be no, I'm good. And then walk out.
I know.
No.
That's what I told Isaiah. He's like, when do you think this is going to happen? I was like, they are going to have that contract on the table with pen ready to move the moment that the 2 o'clock hour hits. Because it was 2 o'clock and it was 2 p.m. Denver, Mountain Time. So it was 2 p.m. in Denver. I was like, I guarantee they're going to have, that's going to be the first thing that they make sure happens the second the league year starts. Because, right now at that point, everything was still only agreed to in principle, which means that anybody could just 180 on that and go the other way.
Sitting there in the room, and they got Purcell behind Russell and Draymond Jones behind him. You're not leaving this room.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Don't
I wasn't worried about Russ. I was actually more worried about Seattle. Seattle being because every time I've been watching these last couple of weeks, ever since the announcement that the trade was agreed to in principle, I had been I've been listening to media all over the place in Seattle media, Denver media, national media talking about it. And pretty much most everybody, it seemed like the general consensus ones, the Broncos just blew the Seahawks out of the water with this trade.
Dude, was we think it's so one-sided, but then there's Seahawks fans are no, we won this trade. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You're telling me you couldn't have got 3 first-round picks? Shut up.
Congratulations, you got future Hall of Famer Drew Lock.
Oh, no. We're not even going to go to that one.
Oh, but boy. I did. You know why? Because it's my show.
I guess technically they got 3 first-round picks because they got Noah Fant. But still,
whatever.
You're gonna sit here and tell me because you remember the offer that the Commanders, I hate that name, the Commanders made.
Too. Oh yeah,
it was 3 first-round picks, a couple second-round picks, a third, and then 4 players. I'm you're telling me that you won that trade when you could have gotten that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, that's my point. That's the point I was making the whole time. The last couple of weeks, ever since this trade was agreed to in principle, I have been just on the edge of my seat, waiting for Seattle to hear all this media attention going. Broncos fleeced Seattle. Broncos just Seattle loses this trade, and I'm just waiting for them to be like, you know what? No, we're not doing this. And I'm just no, please don't let this happen. Please don't let this happen. And wouldn't it just be just a punch to the face if they'd done it the second before the contract was signed,
Well,
so
And like, I know that Russ is a good guy, but if Seattle really did that, Russ would be like, "No, I'm not playing."
I know. Oh, absolutely, absolutely,
No.
he would.
I'm just gonna sit here in Denver.
Yeah, he'd be like, "I'll just wait here until you take that back." You take you take that back. I'll wait here. Like plain and simple. So it's happened. It's happened. 2 p.m. rolls around. The league year begins. Russell Wilson signs the contract, and at 2:03, he walks out in front of the media and is introduced in a very fun fashion by George Peyton and Nathaniel Hackett as the new starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos. Yes,
that was, and like, I'm not a big press conference guy, and I think I've said that before. But
you have said it a million times.
This was like one of the press conferences that was like, all right,
which is sad considering that we're media. But
but we're unprofessional media.
Whatever. How dare you, sir? Slanderous man. How dare you? Anyway, no, but for real, like, and I'm sorry, Nathaniel Hackett getting up to that podium and almost cursing.
No, I mean, like Russ and George and Nathaniel said so many good things, but like the one line that came away for me was when they asked Nathaniel Hackett, like, what did you say, or how did you react when they were like, so do you want to get Russell Wilson? And he was like, I said, yeah. And George was like, no. That's not what you said.
That's not what you said.
You said F yeah. And
you said an expletive, yeah.
And like, there's a couple things. One, that was hilarious. And two, like, that shows the relationship that Nathaniel Hackett and George Peyton already have.
Absolutely.
That Peyton was like, no, that's not what you said.
That's not what you said.
No.
So in the press conference, we've already, like, I'm going to jump over to the chat real quick here. We got, where was it? I saw it here where, here we go. Avatar says, I love Russ's answer to a question about the addition of DJ Jones. He turns to George Peyton and says, thanks, George.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, again, the professionalism, but at the same time, the camaraderie between these guys already, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's something you don't see. This is not something, to those that have never really watched, and I don't know how many of you actually watched that press conference yesterday, but this kind of like outright camaraderie between new coworkers, it doesn't, in the NFL especially, it doesn't happen. It takes time to build that, and these guys are just like buddy and laughing and making jokes, and it's great.
I think that goes more into like the culture change, and there was a culture change between Elway and Peyton.
Oh,
but
big
then
time.
You go from Fangio to Hackett. Now you can see like the culture change. Like, he's one of those coaches that isn't gonna like be pissed off at a question that you ask him and then just be like a jerk when he answers a question. He's one of those people pleasers that is like gets along with everybody. So him and George Peyton are like that, and I love it.
There is your offspring saying hello in the chat. Hello
offspring.
That's funny. All right,
it's not WizKid anymore. It's offspring.
It's offspring. My friends I'm not finishing that song. No, I'm not finishing that song. So, so that press conference yesterday, I've got to say, I was absolutely on fire the whole time. I mean, it was so pumped up. A 1-hour press conference that just flew by because there was so many good things said. And I mean, I don't, and the thing about Russell Wilson, sometimes he said so many good things that I would almost be concerned that he just, had rehearsed it all beforehand and just knew what to say. If I didn't already know the kind of guy that he is and know that literally everything he said is 100% true.
Well, and are you more excited for Russ or Sierra?
Me, Russ. But I'm not as big into pop.
Well,
music,
Hackett was like, I'm just really glad that your wife is here. It's like, hey,
sorry, Russ. He said sorry too. You can tell he was uncomfortable too. You can tell that Hackett was uncomfortable when he said that because he tried to crack a joke.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm sorry, Russ.
Like, sorry,
no,
Russ.
it didn't work at all.
Whoa. Don't piss him off, or he takes a snap. Like, calm down.
Well, I mean, you got to think Russ has got to be a little bit used to it. I mean, Sierra is a multi-platinum pop star, so
Russ totally should have played into it.
He should have
stood up and stormed out. I'm never playing for this team.
I'm out of here.
I'm gone.
So let's see what we have else we have in here. Yeah, Avatar says he watched that press conference twice. I watched it 3, so I can't.
I called you in the middle of, you said like watching it 5 times.
No, I was in the 3rd when you called me. You were like, I'm like, you are interrupting my 3rd viewing of the press conference. What do you want? But anyway, it was great. I loved some of the things that Russ said. Just to include, I absolutely loved that he literally said, I came here to win. He's like, I chose Denver because these guys are winners. They've been, and like, I loved when he said, I don't believe it was actually in the press conference. It was in his interview, his live interview, not live interview, but his Broncos TV interview with Alexis Perry.
Yep.
He said, the Broncos have been so close, so many times, so close. They just needed something to push them over that hump.
Yep.
He's like, this is a winning franchise. This is a winning team, and I'm ready to take us, and I'm ready to be part of that. Yeah, I love it. I love that.
One of the other things he said, and this is kind of comparing to the quarterback who shall not be named, that we were going after,
Voldemort,
the starfish oiling guy.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Voldemort.
You look at it and like, we knew that he was only going to have maybe 2 or 3 years. Whereas Russ comes out and he's like, I want to play another 10 to 12.
10 to 12 years, 3 to 4 Super Bowls.
It's like, yeah.
I'm like, way to set your bar high there, guy. Like, wow, 3 to 4 Super Bowls, like, man.
Well, and I think the majority of everybody that was on MHRT preferred Russ over Rodgers.
Absolutely.
Just because of, obviously Rodgers I named him. Obviously Starfish. Starfish is obviously he's now the more talented quarterback because of that's who he is. But you got a quarterback that's 38 and a quarterback that's 33, and there's not that big of a talent gap. I'm going with the 33-year-old.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus, I say that's old, but I'm like 36. So it's not
I'm 33. Russ and I are the same age. So, and I guarantee football? Okay, we're not even going to go into that right now. You already know the answer to that. You already know the answer to that. All right. I like Shadow's question here. What is Peyton's Achilles heel? He's been hitting on literally everything.
He doesn't have one.
Well, I mean, everyone has one, but we haven't found it yet. I mean, it's going to take, if we ever find it, if anyone ever finds that Achilles heel, because he is that good. He is doing so well, not just in free agency, the draft last year, man, what a draft class, and his free agent signings last season. All of it.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that I haven't liked yet. And I don't think there is.
The only thing
I don't like
he
losing,
missed on.
I don't like losing Shelby, but that's more of a personal thing.
That's a personal thing. I love Shelby. I mean, my wife literally got hugged up into the air by Shelby Harris. He's an awesome guy. And I love him. And I'm going to miss the crap out of him. I'm 43. Can we stop talking about age?
Well,
I guess, but
we're not even going to talk about Bill.
Yeah, we're not even going to talk about poor Bill. Speaking of whom, I did have a nice long phone conversation with yesterday, and I was like, "Why are you still awake?" Anyway, it was fun. It was a good conversation, Bill, and that was fun. But yeah, as far as Peyton goes, he has yet to expose any kind of Achilles heel. He's been hitting all over the place. And I mean, honestly, probably the only thing you could say he really missed on was getting Kyle Fuller, which, I mean, you go back and you look at Kyle Fuller's production before he came to the Broncos, everything said that was a good get.
Right. And you wonder how much of that was Peyton giving Fangio what he wanted and not exactly what Peyton wanted. I guarantee it. Peyton came onto the Broncos in a weird situation. Yeah.
I mean, most general managers don't get told, okay, you're hired, but you get to keep the incumbent staff for 1 year. You don't have a choice.
There was someone on Twitter that was like, when we got Russell Wilson, he's like, Fangio sitting in his house going, really?
Yeah.
Really? Now
okay. Let me ask you. Let me ask you. Do you really think that Russell Wilson and Vic Fangio would have gotten along? I think don't.
Wilson and Fangio would have been fine. I think it would have been Shermer and Wilson that would
have. That would have been.
But Wilson would have been one.
Could you imagine?
Like, shut up, Pat.
Could you imagine the first time that Russell Wilson went to Pat Shermer and said to him, "Hey, coach, this isn't working. I want to do something." And Shermer came back at Russell Wilson and said, "You're the player. I'm the coach." Can you imagine the Hiroshima bomb that would have gone off at that moment?
Well, and again, Russell Wilson's a really good guy, so it probably would have been something like okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. But then Russell go out there and do his own thing. It would be great.
Do whatever he wants.
But here's the thing.
We're not running that play.
I'm not going to complain about it. Everything happens within its own time. And it happened now. We're here now. George Peyton still has 5 years left on his contract. I mean, so not bad. That rookie contract, you could almost call that just a disposable year because, I honestly don't think George Peyton was set up for success coming in that way. He did, and he really made lemonade with them lemons that he got.
Yeah, and it sucks for us because we're kind of sitting here going, all right, we know what we're looking at, we know what we're gonna see, but for him, like being able to see the players play and how they worked and where they worked is why we're at where we're at now, which is why we had Tim Patrick get re-signed. We saw Cortland Sutton get re-signed. Yeah. We saw a move away from Noah Fant in the trade. Drew Lock got moved away in the trade. Shelby got moved away in the trade. But I mean, you look at all the players that we have, and you can look at them and go, okay, last year he worked here. Last year he worked here. And you're able to go through the roster and see that. And a lot of that is because George Payton had that year to kind of figure out where they go.
And he did. And that's the thing. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a GM. Again, I generally wear orange colored lenses all the time. But orange colored lenses aside, I could honestly say I believe George Payton is the best GM in the NFL, just in terms of how dang smart he is and how calculating he is. And I can honestly say, like, I don't think I've ever seen a GM come in the way he did and be that elite in that role that fast. I mean, it was his first time ever. And he was not given a good situation coming in, and he still managed to really pull that off. So that was awesome. So
I can go with that. Best GM.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best position. Like the best position as a GM would be in New England, because you got Belichick going, no, we're doing that. So the GM just gets to sit there and do nothing. GM. Right. So anybody else that's in that role or close to it, just sitting there going, okay.
I mean, it's Belichick,
I would say if he can hit in the draft this year like he did last year.
Not if. Don't ever say if.
When
right.
He's as successful in this draft as he was in the last one, I'd put him in top 2, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. So jumping back over to the comments, we got Bill in the chat. As we see Bill in the chat here saying 100% Wilson. Have said that from the beginning, and I did too, Bill. I mean, I even went on Broncos Country tonight with Ryan Edwards and Ben Albright back on December 17th. I was a guest on their show, and I said it then. They asked me who I wanted for a quarterback, and I said Russell Wilson.
Receipts. Putting dates in for receipts.
Dude, I've got the recording. You want me to send it to you? I'll post it on Twitter. Y'all can go check it out. At Broncos_Viking on Twitter. I will post the interview back in December tonight. I said it in December. I wanted Russell Wilson over Aaron Rodgers, and I got my wish. It was a Christmas miracle. Anyway. So, and then we got let's see here. I wanted to go back down. New name in the chat that I don't recognize. Adam Sears. I don't know if he's been on your show, Mike, but
a while
it's
ago.
good. Adam, I think this is the first time I've seen you in the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. So it is good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the show and welcome to the NRW crew.
I don't have a drink. Here, I'll drink some.
And happy St. Patrick's Day. And Adam asks, Who do you think we will put in the slot corner spot? Well, I don't think we're out on Bryce Callahan yet. I really don't.
I think that's a priority.
I think that's a major priority.
Chris Harris Jr. name too.
I don't want Chris Harris Jr. back. I love him, and once again, just like, oh my gosh. Okay, so Von Miller's going to the Bills. Everybody, in case y'all didn't hear, a lot of people in Broncos country wanted Von Miller back, and I love Von Miller. I mean, I've got jerseys and posters, and I love Von Miller, and I will forever miss him in the orange and blue. But I was not one of the one. You can hear my kids screaming. I know. I do my best. Okay, I do my best. This is not a studio yet, but yet it will be. Anyway, when it came to the news, when he was all over social media going, yeah, Denver, let's go. I'm coming back. I want to come back. All that. The nostalgic side of me, absolutely, just yes. But the realist in me said no, because I knew he'd be asking a lot more. He also has shown, I mean, he's still doing very well at his age, but he's still not Von Miller of 2015. He is still not that Von Miller, and there are guys in the league right now performing at near Von Miller 2015 levels that we could get for cheaper. Or at least for the same price that he'd be asking for right now, but without being so expensive.
Right.
So,
well,
but with more upside. My apologies. With more upside.
Well, Landon put in there that it's 6 years for 120 mil.
That's insane.
We got Randy Gregory for what? 3 for 70.
Yep.
So I'll take that.
And Randy Gregory's younger, and he's been very productive, and the last year or so, he's really stepped up as a leader. So he could do that here too. So that being said, going back to Adam's question, who do I think we'll put in the slot corner spot? And people talking about Chris Harris Jr. I love Chris. I love CHJ. I mean, one day his Chris Harris Jr. will be in the Ring of Fame. I guarantee it. That name will be there someday. Maybe. Likely. I think there's a good chance of it. Given his story, another one of those undrafted guys that just made himself a household name after going undrafted. Wonderful story there. I love Chris Harris Jr.'s story, and I loved his history in Denver. And the nostalgia side of me absolutely says, yeah, let the old man come back. But he is older, and he is way less productive. Oh, and he's been injured. And I don't think it would go. It would the price tag is something that George Peyton would be that comfortable with, given those two things.
Yeah, and the one issue that I have with Callahan is
injury.
The same thing with his injury. Same thing with Harris. Because I mean, I would say Bryce Callahan is the better corner, and I think that before we got Surtain, Callahan was probably the best corner that we had on the team. I don't think there's.
I don't think you're wrong at all.
He's hurt all the time. And like when we need him because everybody else is injured, he's there. But then when everybody else comes back, he's injured and he's not there anymore.
Right.
So I think Harris has been injured less. I think that Callahan is a better nickel corner than Harris is. But if you're going based on pay and based on talent, I don't think there's that big of a drop off between Callahan and Harris, and I think Harris would come cheaper.
He'd come cheaper, maybe a little. I don't know. We'll see. In Peyton I trust. Hashtag in Peyton we trust.
Oh, it's 5 years. My bad. 5 years, 70 million.
Whatever. 5 years, 70 million. That's a dang good deal, my friend. In Peyton we trust, and I guarantee he's got plans. And we'll see what those plans are. We will. And I'm excited for it. I really am. So moving on in the chat, Bill says, guys, that's Broncos breakdown. That's Bronco Bill, our Wednesday show. If you guys haven't caught it yet, don't miss it. It's a lot of fun. Guy's got a lot of energy. He says, guys, got to run and watch my grandson's baseball game. I'll listen from the road. Great show as always. Thanks, Bill.
I didn't know Model Ts had radios in there.
I know. Well, I think he outfitted it with. Yeah, I think he outfitted it. He's got one of those little
outfitted. Okay.
One of those little Bluetooth speakers he's hung from the rear view mirror.
They don't have rear view mirrors.
Well, oh, that's right, Model T. Sorry, I thought he drove a Model A. My bad. I always mix those up, Sorry, Bill, not to insult you or Mr. Ford. Anyway, all right, all right. KB82 in reference to my claim that I called for Russell Wilson in December on Broncos Country Night says he doesn't believe me and he will flag my video if I post it. Come at me, Kenny. Come at me, bro. It's good to see you in the chat, KB82. You're awesome, brother.
KB says radio on his horse saddle.
Radio on his horse saddle. Poor Bill. But the beautiful thing about it is that we don't have to worry about it because Bill won't remember it tomorrow.
I don't know if Bill can swing his leg over the.
Listen, the guy just left the chat. He's not even here to defend himself.
He's right
anymore.
there. He just chased it. Yeah.
I have a Flintstones car. Poor Bill. I mean, the beautiful thing about being able to poke this kind of fun at him is that tomorrow he won't remember any of it.
Plus, at the same time, Bill, you and I both know that your 112-year-old legs are not going to be doing this under the car. Stop.
Yabba dabba do.
Yabba dabba. Oh.
Oh, poor Bill. Poor Bill. All right. So Glenn just jumped in the chat to say Davante Adams traded to Vegas.
Wow. No.
I'm about to pull that open. You better be lying to me.
No.
You better be lying to me. You better. Guys, I'm sorry. We're going to keep talking, but while we're talking, I've got to pull this up and confirm that because that would be the biggest, oh my God.
Piss me off moment.
Yes. I mean, good Lord. I wouldn't be able to believe it.
And everybody was freaking out. And we talked about it on Tuesday. Everybody was freaking out over the Chargers. But honestly, the Chargers have not made that kind of splash.
No, they haven't. But they just spent a lot of money.
And J.C. Jackson is probably the best signing that they did. But if that's true, I'm not okay. But who else did they do?
Yep. As reported by Adam Schefter, Raiders are giving Davante Adams a 5-year contract.
And the Raiders just got Chandler Jones, too.
Yes. Oh.
I'm telling
Ben
you.
Albright.
Dude, we got
I want to
Russell
say
Wilson,
this.
and the rest of the AFC West was like, all right, bet. Hold my
beer. Just looking here at my Twitter, I'm looking at this tweet by Ben Albright, and I couldn't have said it better than this. The AFC West is the SEC of the NFL.
It really is.
It really is, man. I said it to Isaiah the other day. I think I said it to all of you in the group chat too. The way the AFC West is going right now, the rest of the NFL just might as well take the season off. Because the AFC West is all anybody's going to care about. It's just
Glenn says that's not the right one. I almost clicked on it. Carr was Davante's college QB.
Oh,
that makes sense. But I still don't like it.
Oh, I don't like it. Why would I like it? I mean, I guess they did have to fill the hole left by, their star wide receiver who made really, really bad choices. Bad life choices. So.
Yeah, but and honestly, and that's the thing that makes me so mad is they're not even on the same level.
No.
We're sitting here worried about Henry Ruggs all year, and now we got to worry about Davante.
Now we got to worry about Davante Adams. But you know what?
And he's not as fast, but Lordy.
Dude, I cannot wait to see Pat Surtain on lined up against Davante Adams.
Okay, so here's the question though, because we know that with Fangio, you didn't have a specific corner lined up against a specific receiver. It was if they're on your side, you're guarding them, but if they switch to the other side, somebody else has got them. Is it the same, or are we going to have shadow?
Well, I mean, obviously we've heard quite a bit that under Evero, they're probably going to switch to a lot of dime scheme.
Right.
Six backs. That's one of the reasons CJ Jones is such a phenomenal signing, because you're going to need that guy up front that can just stuff the run constantly in those situations.
DJ Jones.
That's what I meant. It's one of those letters of the alphabet.
One more in the alphabet.
Yeah. Sorry. Less distic over here. Hooked on phonics, not work for me.
You took off the line in the D.
Right. That's what it was. It's exactly what it was. Yeah. Anyway, DJ Jones. That's why DJ Jones is such an amazing signing, is because he can stuff that run, especially when you're in that the 6-back set in the dime package, and stuff the run up there. But there'll be a lot of man. The Raiders got traded to Sacramento.
Dude, and you know what? Karma. That's what you get. Karma.
I mean, what is Aaron Rodgers gonna do?
That is what you get. Karma.
I would like to take this moment to just remind everybody for just a second, the Broncos have Russell Wilson. That's all I wanted to say. I just need to interject that. That's your every 30 minutes you need to be reminded that the Broncos have Russell Wilson. So set a timer, a reminder on your phones for every 30 minutes. Just to pop up and say Broncos have Russell Wilson, just so you get that reminder. Because
Adams is
we
gone.
Need that.
Can you imagine the amount of starfish oil flying around?
Oh dear, I don't want to talk about the starfish anymore. I don't want to talk about the starfish oil anymore.
How
We're done with
pissed
that.
is he right now?
Oh, he's pissed.
I'm happy.
But you know what? You know what? He brought it upon himself. He's like, oh,
there's so many players they weren't able to resign because he stayed around in Green Bay.
Exactly. He has shot himself in the foot, which we said was going to happen. We said he was shooting himself in the foot by taking that contract. It was dumb. Good way to get your money, greedy. But now what are you going to do? Like,
now who are you going to throw the ball to now?
What are you going to do now? I mean, who's going to catch the ball boy?
Maybe. Tanya, no, he's a free agent. We don't even know if he's coming back.
Nope. You don't know. That's my point. What are you going to do now? You done messed up, Ron. Like,
you've done messed up, Ron.
I mean,
dude, you gotta put that on your soundboard. You done messed up, Ron.
I'm actually surprised I don't have it on my soundboard already, but it will be on there after this week.
That was perfect.
I mean, there it is. Look what he's done to himself. Look what Ron has done to himself. You done messed up, Ron. I mean, I'm sorry, that Key and Peele episode. I'm Mr. Garvey, your substitute teacher I taught in the inner city. Don't mess with me. Like,
watch Rodgers retire now. Like, I'm done.
After all that.
I'm not doing that.
No, I'm out.
Adam Sears put breaking news. Rodgers
I want to real quick. I'm sorry, we kind of got off on a tangent. I did want to say, to finish up with when we were talking about lining up defensively under Ejiro Evero. You're going to see a lot more dime package, which means that there will be some man coverage played. Yeah. Quite a bit of off man. But honestly, I mean, I think there's still a lot of zone to be had there, and so it just depends. I think it'll just depend on the play. I think it'll be up to the field, the guys on the field to call to read the offense and call the right play. But I still can't wait to see Patrick Surtain against Devontae Adams.
Yeah, and my guess is it'll be whatever side of the line he lines up on is who's going to cover him, because you got depth. Yeah, he shot himself. I was wondering if you're going to pull that one up or not.
I had to. The offspring says that contract to Adams makes him the highest paid wide receiver. Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of figured that was going to happen anyway, no matter where he landed.
Well, hey, Adams is the highest paid wide receiver, and Starfish is the highest paid quarterback.
Congratulations, you got what you wanted.
On the same team.
You got what you wanted.
Why did you have to go to the Raiders?
Yeah, I love Adams. Adam, and thank you for censoring that, Adam. We do try to keep it somewhat family friendly here.
We try.
We try. We do try. We all curse outside of this place, but in the show we try to keep it family friendly.
About.
You are lying to yourself.
My son is in the chat, and he can tell you I never say a bad word ever.
Oh, I'm sure. Why we call my 7-year-old upstairs and ask him, does Daddy ever say a bad word? Yeah. All right. So And yeah, think about that. Who pulled that? Who put that up? I just lost it. Where did it go? It jumped.
Which one? The contract?
Here we go. Shadow Jacker. Waller and Adams.
Wait, who's the little guy? He's their slot receiver.
I don't know. He obviously doesn't, bear remembering.
Oh, Renfro.
Oh, Hunter Renfro? Yeah. You said little guy. Hunter Renfro is not a little guy.
Well, I was thinking Cooper Kupp, but
Cooper Kupp isn't a little guy.
He's littler than Adams.
Well, he's still not a little guy.
Well,
you say little guy, I'm thinking KJ Hamler. Like, that's a little guy.
I was thinking of Pookie Knight.
Oh, poor Isaiah. He's not, you're right. Isaiah is the shortest member of, well, actually, I know Cam's short. And now that Cam's part of MHRT, I don't know who is shorter, Isaiah or Cam.
Well, Isaiah's 5'6" and Cam's what, like 5'1"?
Is he really?
No.
I don't know what Cam is. I don't know how tall Cam is. He's a friend, but anyway, let's move on. So that's kind of fun that we got that breaking news in the middle of this broadcast. Thank you, Glenn.
Not for the news I wanted.
No, it's not the news I wanted. I'm waiting on corner. I want cornerback or outside linebacker news. That's what I want.
Outside.
No, I'm sorry. Wow.
Inside
right tackle.
Or
tackle.
Right
tackle. Offensive tackle.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I don't think the Peyton's gonna go after another tackle until the draft.
I don't either. But it'd be exciting. I'd like to see.
I know that everyone is on Lael Collins, but it's not gonna happen. Like way priced.
What a way to prepare for a caveat. It sounds to me like it's time for us to enter the Matrix.
Maybe.
Welcome to the Mile High Matrix, where we ask you if you take the orange pill or the blue pill. Mike, welcome to your first Mile High Matrix segment, my friend.
I just want to point out that picture was when I was a lot more tan.
That
was in the summer.
It was self-tan, right?
Yeah.
You stood there covering your chest while somebody rubbed the lotion on your skin. Yeah. All right. So, Mile High Matrix time. You went right to it, and so I'm gonna go ahead and go first. My Mile High Matrix for this week: orange pill. You take Lael Collins. Now, obviously, these are just dreams. I don't think these things are gonna happen, but dreams. Orange pill. You take offensive tackle Lael Collins from the Dallas Cowboys for right tackle. But blue pill, you fill your slot cornerback need with Tyrann Mathieu, the cornerback from the Chiefs. Which do you take? Orange pill or blue pill, Mike?
Well, here's the problem. Tyrann Mathieu's a safety.
But he can play
play corner.
He can play slot too.
Boy, that's hard. Just because of the positional need, I'm going to say Lael Collins at right tackle. Okay. So I'll take the – did you say orange?
That was the orange pill.
Orange.
All right.
But I don't like either one. But I'll go with Lael Collins.
It's not about liking it. You got to pick one or the other.
Because we need more. I would much prefer to get protection for Russell Wilson than get a expensive corner when we could go cheaper and be just as good.
All right, that's fair. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. I think it'd be awesome to have Honey Badger on the Broncos. That'd be wild and crazy, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Honey Badger and Honey Bear. I don't know if we can.
Honey Badger and Honey Bear. Which, by the way,
too much honey.
But by the way, if nobody knows, Honey Bear is in reference to Mike's infatuation with Josie Jewell. So naturally, the re-signing of Josie this week had Mike, just all up in vapors.
Ooh, that's my honey.
But it puts the lotion in the bucket. Well done, Shadow. Definitely, of course, the guy who hosts MHRT After Dark.
After
talks
in the
about
dark.
talks about the lotion.
After dark in the dark.
Wow, I just took that in a totally bad direction, and I'm sorry. Anyway,
see, we try to be family friendly and clean. We try.
I apologize. I had a cold this week. Cough came back, and
all the pygmies in New Guinea.
All the pygmies in New Guinea. Good Lord, Michael! Wow,
Larry the Cable Guy.
I know. Oh Lord. Okay, so
Lord,
I say orange pill as well. Lale Collins. Just because, like you said, it's the position I think of greater need. So if George Peyton were to go throw that kind of money that either one of those guys is gonna, garner, I think I'd go for that guy who's proven and who can protect Russell Wilson. I mean, that would shore up that offensive line. I mean, that offensive line would be the stoutest offensive line in football. So
depending on who we can figure out for center, yeah.
Well, I still am not against the idea of Graham Glasgow. You're, our good friend of the show, who was on MHRT podcast before it was 5280 2 weeks ago. Graham Glasgow. I'm still not against Graham sliding over to center. Graham is
not either.
I mean, Graham's best season statistically in football came when he was in Detroit. I believe it was 2018. I think. Maybe 2019, when he played center as opposed to guard. That was his best season statistically. And I am not against him being a center again.
So with the orange pill, you're looking at Bowles, Reisner, Glasgow, Miners, Collins.
Yes.
I like it.
That would be the stoutest offensive line in football. I mean, it'd be a brick wall for Russell Wilson.
Dude, there's another ZZ Top comment. I think.
Yes, I love it. I feel like we had some Broncos ZZ Top going on. I love it. Oh, within the shades. That I never thought about that. The shades definitely make it there too. I mean, now I just want to sit here with my guitar. I mean, it'd be fun. So Landon, I love it. Landon, your dad has been telling me all the stuff you've been doing in Madden, and I've been jumping on that train afterwards. You need to do that in Madden. Put Lale Collins on the right. Put Graham at the center. Let's check out how that's gonna look. It's Madden. It's completely realistic.
See, the problem is that when you set the roster to what you want it to be, and then come back and man, I just went 7-10. No, don't do that.
No, do that. Oh, and Adam says loves the beards. Thank you, Adam. That is a lie.
That is a lie.
And look,
I think it's the skunk stripe. I think that's what it is.
The skunk. I never thought of it that way. I was, thought of your salt and pepper, but push it. But no,
You're real good. That's not the kind of song in the Matrix.
No, it's not. It's not the kind of song you hear in the Matrix. But both of us say orange pill. Let's go back into the chat and see if anybody else took anything different. Looks like Adam Sears came in and saying he is all about that blue pill.
No, I'm all about that blue pill. That's not a Matrix song either.
It's not definitely not. Maybe it wasn't Adam.
No,
Adam said that. Yeah, sorry. Adam said that he would go orange pill as well. Lale Collins. Avatar said blue pill. Avatar, one of our super fans, says that he would take Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Which, I mean, I would love to see it on the Broncos. Good Lord. But here's my one issue with Tyrann Mathieu. He sucks at tackling.
Yeah, I was going to say terrible tackler.
Terrible tackler. Now, the guy has hands. The guy is a ball hawk for days. But he cannot tackle to save his life. And your own son sided against you. The offspring says
I'll
blue.
ground him when I get home.
There you go. Where did it go? EJ asks, why would the Raiders trade their best receiver after re-signing Rodgers? I think he meant the Packers. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
What it came down to, EJ, is I guarantee they couldn't come to an agreement on contract.
Rodgers is too expensive.
Aaron Rodgers took way too much money. They don't have enough left. And Devontae Adams wants more money. And they'd slapped him with his help me out here. What's it called? The tender.
Salary cap? Yeah.
No.
Franchise tag.
Franchise tag. Thank you. They'd slapped him with the franchise tag and he refused to sign it. He was not okay with the amount that they were offering him, and he was refusing to play. So, like I said, this is your fault, Aaron. You done messed up, Aaron. All right. So, let's see. Going back, KB82 coming into the chat with his own orange pill and blue pill. Let's do it. KB82 says, orange pill, we draft Daniel Falele in the second round, or blue pill, we draft tight end Trey McBride.
Well, okay. First of all, Trey McBride is not going to be available in the second round.
He has in every single mock draft I've done.
I'm going with Daniel Falele.
Okay, are you going with Daniel Falele because you don't believe he'll be there at 64? Or you
I like Daniel Falele better.
Okay, so explain.
I just do. Explanation done.
I am not your wife. You do not get to tell me because I just do.
Because I just do.
All right. That's two. All right. So I kind of, this one's a hard one for me, KB82. This one's a hard one for me. Ooh, I'm having trouble here. Because I like both a lot. Yeah. And there is a needed tight end. There is still a needed tight end. We got a very, very good pass catching tight end. I don't, say what you want about his durability. He got injured and he came back, and Alberto is a very good pass catching tight end, and he's no slouch either in the run block. He's a good blocking tight end as well.
Yeah. And we got Eric Tomlinson.
Yeah, we got Eric Tomlinson, who is
phenomenal.
I think he's
blocker.
had 8 phenomenal run blocker, but I think he's had 18 career catches.
Yeah.
Over like a 10-year career. So, I mean, definitely not very balanced as far as pass catching and run blocking go.
Yeah.
There's still a possibility. I know Eric Saubert is a unrestricted free agent, hasn't been picked up anywhere. We could bring Eric Saubert back. That'd be cool because I really liked Saubert. I thought he had his first career touchdown last season I believe it was from Teddy Bridgewater. He looked really good and everything, but there is a needed tight end. And I really I've watched so much tape on Trey McBride, and I love Trey McBride. I think that what he brings is I honestly think he's not, in my opinion, on my board, he's the number 1 tight end in this draft class.
Yeah.
And he brings so much in both pass catching ability and run blocking. But I can see Daniel Falele because we really need him at that position.
Dude, and Falele is like 6'8", 380. Like
he's a bulldozer.
But at the same time, he's quick, he's agile. You throw him in there with Barry, who's coming from the offensive line from the Niners. And the offensive line from the Niners is one of the best running offensive lines in the league. Like, it doesn't matter what running back you put behind that 49ers line, they're going to gain a lot of yards. So being able to get Falele and team him with Barry as coach, and then team him with Calvin Anderson and who's the guy we just brought in from the Niners? Now I'm forgetting. Tom Compton?
Yeah, Compton.
Tom Compton. I would love to be able to have those 3 options, and it doesn't matter who would start, because all 3 would be
everything
fantastic.
that I've seen. Tom Compton, not very good in pass pro. They're not the best in pass pro, but is like an animal. Is probably the best run blocking tackle in the league.
Right, and I find it fantastic that we're looking at people from the 49ers that are on the offensive side of the ball, on the offensive line. Like, you've got the coach from the Niners, you've got a right tackle from the Niners.
Right.
Like, it looks like we're going to run the ball.
And we are. Dude, Nathaniel Hackett, he said he's running an outside zone blocking scheme. West Coast bootleg. Come on, man. He's going to run the ball quite frequently to the outside, especially. You know, and then that's the thing. I'm so excited. Like, people have been so down on Reisner.
He gets it.
Exclamation, done.
That's all you need. No, but he's 6'8", 380. He's huge.
No,
so
he's an animal.
I'd go with Falele.
All right, and that's fair. I mean, I like Trevor Penning as well.
I don't know.
But he won't be there. He wouldn't be there. He wouldn't be there for us at 64. But anyway, good. I think honestly, I never gave my answer because I talked about them both. Still the same. I would still take the blue pill, Daniel Falele. No, he was orange pill, wasn't he? Sorry. Yeah. I would take the orange pill, Daniel Falele, simply because, again, the position of need at offensive tackle is greater.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Mike, we've now done my Mile High Matrix. We've done KB82's Mile High Matrix. Please present us with your orange pill and blue pill.
Mine is very divisive because I like to divide people. It's
get ready to fight.
But I'm not. There's not going to be any explanation. Mine is very short, very simple, but the answers are not going to be simple.
Oh boy.
So, orange pill, John Elway. Blue pill, Peyton Manning, and go.
You're a monster.
Simple.
You're a monster. All right. So, hey, guys, throw your choices in the chat there because this one's going to be fire. John Elway, orange pill, John Elway. Blue pill, Peyton Manning. Who do you, for all-time best Broncos quarterback?
Nope, I'm not. Nope, that's not even it. You just get the names.
That's it.
You decide what you want. Whether you want it to be greatest of all time, whether you want it to be greatest Broncos of all time, whether you want it to be best running quarterback of all time. I don't care. You're pick.
Killing me, Smalls.
Whichever one you want.
Killing me. All right, fine. Here we go.
We'll
orange
say
pill,
this.
John Elway, blue pill, Peyton Manning, and go. Mike Mundungus just lit the world on fire. Okay, right. Like he just
watch it burn.
He just stuck the earth on the tip of a pencil, lit an aerosol can, and just is sitting here blasting us with this question. All right. So Adam says orange pill Elway.
Ooh,
but Texas name. Lean, who, by the way, new name in the chat, Texas Lean, welcome to the NRW crew. Welcome to the MHRT Network. It is good to see you, and cheers, here's to you. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Top of the morning. Top of the evening, whatever.
Top of the morning.
Get ready to kiss me, Blarney Stone.
Oh, jeez. We're trying to be family friendly.
Yeah, well, we tried. We already failed at that, so let's just keep it rolling.
Starfish.
No, oil your starfish.
And then kiss it.
All right, so Texas Lean, our new name, our new friend, says Peyton Manning. Peyton effing Manning. EJ says blue pill Manning, but Adam says Elway with today's rules would murder. I actually disagree with that statement, honestly. I don't think this NFL is in any way conducive to Elway's skill sets anymore. Because now you can crucify me for this later, if you wish. But Jimmy Garoppolo, very similar at least in play style. Not necessarily.
You're not going to be able to leave your house.
No, not in talent. No, I'm not in any way saying Jimmy G is as talented as John Elway.
You heard it here. Jimmy G is as good as John Elway.
I did not say that. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Anyway, I'm talking about his play style. Very Elway-esque. And it does not work anymore. Not in this NFL. It does not work the way, Elway was perfect in his time. Today's NFL would murder Elway. Honestly,
today's NFL is more like Michael Vick.
Absolutely. So, all right, Mike, we'll go back to the chat and we'll hit some more of these. What is your choice for your own Mile High Matrix there?
Easy.
Okay.
Peyton Manning.
Why?
And like Bronco Bill and I have had this conversation a lot. If you're looking at the greatest Denver Broncos quarterback of all time, you're looking at John Elway. But if you're looking at the greatest quarterback of all time, You're talking about Peyton Manning.
That's fair.
So for me, if you like, I would take Peyton Manning on any other team before I would take John Elway on any other team.
All right, I can dig that.
So
right.
I would take Peyton Manning.
I like it. Is there a world I can say Craig Morton? I'm joking. Let's go old school. Sorry, I think I might have just given both Glenn and Bill heart palpitations by mentioning the name Craig Morton there.
Oh yeah,
that's an old joke for those of you that didn't get that. We
that's
constantly poke
for the
fun
people with the walkers in the back. That's that kind of joke.
Yeah, for the guy messing with his hearing aid in the back, that one's for you.
The guy that has to start out a phone call doing this on the receiver, that's for you, buddy.
Anyway, so I absolutely say Avatar says he knew Craig Morton. Wow, that had to be quite
fun,
quite exciting and amazing. Avatar, I want to hear more about this. Find me on Twitter or something, but you got to tell me about some of this because that's actually something really cool. That's really cool. That is some cool news from you, and I can't wait to hear more about it. So I gotta pick. See, KB82 actually. I'm sorry, I just saw this. He agrees with Adam. Elway would be like Josh Allen in this current NFL. I still disagree.
Not as big.
Not as big. Nope. Elway would be more like a Baker Mayfield.
Oh,
in my opinion. Hey, I said what I said.
I said what I said.
Mic drop. I can't. It's on a stand, so it doesn't actually drop. Anyway, all right. So me, this is tough because I grew up worshiping the ground that John Elway walked on. But of course, love Peyton. Absolutely love Peyton.
Dude,
so,
look at Adam Sears' question right under that one.
We will do one last Mile High Matrix before we leave the Matrix and finish our just normal discussions. So, this is tough. This is so tough. This is tough. I hate you, Mike, for this question. I hate you. But gun to my head, if I have to make a choice, John Elway. And honestly, you said since there were no parameters set on this besides John Elway or Peyton Manning, name, I choose John Elway because he's the name that literally, ruled my life growing up. It's that simple.
There you
go. I have one Peyton Manning poster, one Peyton Manning jersey. I have like 3 John Elway jerseys, 4 different posters, signed baseball cards, a signed football of John Elway. It's John Elway for me. So there we go. Now I'm going to jump real quick. We're going to do one last quick from the chat, Mile High Matrix. Adam Sears, one of our newest NRW member, one of the newest members of the NRW crew. Adam says, "Would you rather?" We'll assign it a pill. Adam, for the future, there's a pill assigned to each one. That's what makes it the Mile High Matrix. Would you rather have Champ Bailey back or Steve Atwater back, both in their prime? So orange pill, Champ Bailey. Blue pill, Steve Atwater. Either one in their prime, and go.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to separate the players and go with the more important position. So I'm going to say Champ. Because corner, I feel, is a more important position than safety. And it's more difficult to get a franchise / Hall of Fame corner than it is safety. Nothing against Steve Atwater and nothing against safeties. But it's kind of like comparing a wide receiver to a running back.
Okay. All right. I can see it. Okay. So Mike takes the orange pill. He takes Champ Bailey in his prime. I'm going with the blue pill. Steve Atwater in his prime. And let me tell you why. Here's why. I absolutely love watching Kareem Jackson hit people like a missile. He does.
Yeah.
He does. But here's the thing. No offense to K-Jack. Because the Broncos are actually talking to him right now from reports that I've heard about possibly another return. But he doesn't always make he makes some of the most ill-timed hits at the worst possible times where he knocked out AJ Johnson himself.
He doesn't worry about collateral damage.
That's what I'm saying. Steve Atwater, now he hits people like a freaking missile. Now, if he hits people like a cruise missile, Steve Atwater used to hit people like a freaking atom bomb. And the way that but the thing about Steve Atwater's hits, they were calculated.
Yeah.
They were pinpoint precision, perfectly laid hits, and he hit them hard. And I love those hits. I love seeing those hits. So it's just simply to watch somebody just hit guys like a freight train. It would be Steve Atwater. That, you got the hand. Champ Bailey's got the hands. Steve Atwater's just got the power.
KB82 said it. Wouldn't you love to see Atwater try to take on Derrick Henry?
I would.
The amount of force on that hit would be incredible.
You know what? It would be very similar to Christian Okoye. In fact, I honestly think Christian Okoye might have been more powerful than Derrick Henry. Might have been. I don't know for sure. I can't say for sure. But, I mean, still, good Lord. Derrick Henry, same thing as Christian Okoye. He'd be laying on his back and looking up at him going, what just happened? I just went backwards for the first time in my life. Like, there you go. So, thank you all for joining us in the Matrix. We're going to go ahead and unplug real quick, and we will be right back with you.
Dude, I'm not.
All right, we are
really right.
It's just your eyes will adjust. Your eyes, you learn to adjust. Thank you all for joining us for another segment of Mile High Matrix. It was a lot of fun, and we really appreciate you guys joining us for that. Let's get back to talking a little bit more Broncos before we get out of here for the night. So, obviously, we've talked about it. The biggest news right now, Russell Wilson is officially a Denver Bronco. There you go. That's your reminder. Remember, set it on your phone to remind you every half an hour that Russell Wilson is your quarterback.
every half hour.
Look, you never know when you're going to have a bad moment in your day and just really need a pick-me-up. If you give yourself a good news every half an hour, you're going to have a good day. So there you go. Every half hour, your phone dings and goes, oh, Russ Wilson is the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. Good day the rest of the day. You're welcome. You're welcome, NRW crew. That being said, let's talk about these other guys. Before we get out of here, let's talk about these other guys that we have acquired here in Denver in free agency. Let's go. Mike, who is your number one signing outside of Russell Wilson this offseason?
DJ Jones. Easy.
Good. Thank you all for joining us. That's it. That's
it. We're done.
DJ Jones is phenomenal. I watched so much tape over the last 2 days on DJ Jones, and I don't think I cannot even begin to express how excited I am that he's coming to Denver.
Yeah. Well, and if you take Russell Wilson, DJ Jones, and Randy Gregory, like the big three, out of the equation, I had a thought on Tom Compton. So Tom Compton was signed as a right tackle. I wonder if they would, and I doubt it, but I wonder if there would be a rotation at right tackle between Calvin Anderson and Tom Compton.
I don't think so.
I mean, obviously not like if Compton's coming in, run, because then it's like, well, we're running.
Listen, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you a real quick hot take here. I mean, this is from me. And that is, this is Calvin Anderson's breakout season.
Okay.
That's mine.
So we had Nick Nick Ferguson on Tuesday, and he loves
awesome,
Calvin Anderson, but he was adamantly against Calvin Anderson starting at right tackle.
I know he was.
I
enjoyed the show very much, and Nick was great.
He believes that there are more talented right tackles out there, which I'm not going to say there's not, but
no,
I'm also not going to say that Calvin Anderson couldn't prove us wrong by starting at right tackle.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I believe this is I believe this is just me, guys. And I can be very wrong. You know, one thing I always say it every time I hit that hot take button. I always say we pride ourselves here at MHRT on not being the hot take artists. We don't like sitting here making clickbait articles that and points of view that come out as We're just desperate for attention.
I won't mention any names.
No, you will not, but that's okay.
Unless you hit me up.
No, you will not do it. You will not do it. We also don't slander here. But
is it slander if it's true though?
Well, I mean, I guess you could put it in print. I guess you could put it in print and then it's liable, but still. But the point is, but we every now and then we do like to put out something that me as a person that I believe is going to happen with like a player or a moment, something exciting. And for me, I believe I've been watching Calvin Anderson. I love Calvin Anderson since he was drafted by the Denver Broncos. And I've thought that he's, I've been watching his videos and everything like that. I also may or may not have a connection to his to a teammate of his that is also his best friend, who also talks about all the work that he's been putting in at the right, in training for the right tackle position. I really think that it's his breakout year. That's me. I could be very wrong. And if I am, I will gladly come on this show again and say I was wrong.
Now, so we've talked about Tom Compton. We've talked about Calvin Anderson. But I want to bring up a point that I'd been thinking about yesterday into today. So we signed Eric Tomlinson as a tight end on the Denver Broncos. Now I want you to, initially look at it like, whatever. But
I wasn't actually. I was actually very excited about it.
Think about last year and how many times you looked at the TV and went, Noah, what in God's name are you doing? Block. Like how many times? Right.
Let's see. Almost every single running play where a tight end was on the field in the last 3 years.
So I am very excited, and I didn't even think about it this way when we first signed him, but I'm very excited to see what we can get done in the run game with a tight end that blocks as well as.
It's like having a second offensive tackle on the field.
And it's nuts because you're looking at the Broncos, you're going, man, I'm excited about a blocking tight end. But I really am excited about a blocking tight end.
Now, here's my one concern about Eric Tomlinson and him being almost exclusively a blocking tight end is that the league knows that. Right. And so when you put him on the field, any coach with a brain stem is going to look at that and go, they're running the ball. I mean, again, the guy's been in the league, 10 years? Almost? 8, 9?
But at this point, he would be tight end too, right? So he'd be right behind Albert.
Sure. But what I'm saying is they see Eric Tomlinson take the field. The odds of it being a run play are going to be higher.
Well, so then you
diagnosing the outside run with Eric Tomlinson being on the field that concerns me slightly.
So then you wonder how many 2 tight end sets they're going to run. Because if they run a lot of 2 tight end sets, that
honestly
back into
well, I mean, and at that point you got to know. I mean, in the outside blocking scheme, you run a lot of 2 tight end sets. A lot.
Yeah.
You run a lot of 2 tight end sets.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't want us to become predictable. That's my one concern, is being predictable based on our players. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I love Tomlinson. I love what I see on tape of him run blocking. Love it. And in fact, I managed to find a little bit of tape of a few of the 18 catches he's made in his career. They were good catches. They were good catches. It's just not what he's known for. It's not what he's best at. I would like to say, Eric Tomlinson, you are looking at you in your interview, your interview with Broncos TV, Phil Milani. Dude, you are a freaking Viking. You are and I freaking want you on my show simply so that the 2 Broncos Vikings can talk. So there you go.
Alberto Bop. That's as good as those commentators were doing during the games. Alberto Bop.
Okay. I want to pull up this question real quick by EJ saying Baker Mayfield is acting like a baby throwing a tantrum. I honestly don't blame him.
Listen, you look at the NFL and you go, who's the worst run teams in the NFL? The first thing that comes into mind is the Jaguars. The second team that comes into mind is like the Jets. Wrong. It's the Packers and the Browns.
Worst run teams. And I'm sorry. The Browns literally just did him so dirty. I mean, it was disgusting. I mean, it was dirty. It was dirtier than a public park bathroom at the end of January.
We're going to look at another quarterback because you're not good enough. Oh, you're not coming? Never mind. You're not going anywhere. No, screw that.
No, that's bull. That is bull. They've done him so dirty, and it's disgusting. And if I was Baker Mayfield, dude, you know he's on all those. What is that? Those State Farm insurance or what is that? What are those insurance commercials he does with the stadium?
Yeah, is it progressive?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what? I'd be lighting the stadium on fire for that insurance policy at that point. I'd literally be lighting that thing up. I'd be so angry if I was in this situation.
It's progressive.
That is garbage. He is the first relevant quarterback that team has had in decades.
He's the reason why we're talking about the Browns.
Yes, he's the only reason anybody talks about the Browns. The only reason they've been relevant in the last 20 years is Baker Mayfield. And literally, he's the only one that he took them to their first playoffs in 20 years.
Yeah.
And then they do this to him. That's trash. That is garbage. And I don't, no offense. I love you, EJ. You are a true friend of the show. You have been for a very long time. You're one of our number ones. True. OG. But I disagree with you vehemently. I would be in the exact same position as Baker is
if you think about it outside of football. So you're looking at it like, let's say that you're the top salesman in the company, right?
Sure.
Like you are killing it. And there's a promotion available. And instead of promoting you, they look outside to bring someone in.
And
then when that person is like, no, I'm not leaving. And then your boss comes to you, you're like, no, you jerk. Yeah. No.
And here's the thing. I like Baker. You know, Adam says it here. I feel bad for Baker too. I like Baker Mayfield.
If he doesn't sit.
I would too. I like Baker Mayfield. I really do. As a person, I like Baker Mayfield. Hated Johnny Manziel. What a joke. But love Baker Mayfield. Good guy. I wished years ago that he had been available when the Broncos were picking.
How much you want to bet we start seeing some quarterbacks fly out of free agency over to the Browns?
It's going to get crazy, buddy. It's going to get crazy. So we've already talked about them, right? Sorry, real quick. We got to get through these guys real quick because we're running out of time. I'm sorry. Let me say it this way. I'm running out of time because very soon my wife is going to start screaming up the stairs. It's time to come put these kids to bed. I've got to go be a dad. So let's talk about these guys real quick. We've already talked about our tight end. We talked about our new right tackle signing. DJ Jones, we've gotten to him a little bit. I love his ability to get to the quarterback. He is going to absolutely change the game as far as our 4-man pass rush goes.
Mm-hmm.
And to do it, like, I don't know if you watched any of his interview or his introductory presser today, but that dude is just a nice guy. I just like the guy. He's funny.
His dad has barbecue.
Yeah, he's got his own barbecue line, which, by the way, Ed McCaffrey and your Colorado-based mustards and horseradish sauce lines, you have some competition, buddy.
Team up.
All right, so DJ Jones, great acquisition. Probably the one I'm most excited about outside of Russell Wilson. Let's see, who else have we managed to snag up?
Who's that guard?
Randy Gregory. Can't forget Randy Gregory. Big time acquisition. We haven't been able to talk much on him. We only have a few minutes left, guys, and I'm sorry. Randy Gregory has had, unfortunately, you look at it this way. Randy Gregory has actually served more games suspended than he has played in the NFL since he was drafted in 2015, 2016. I want to say it was 2015. I believe he was drafted the same year the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Maybe it was 2016, the year after. Either way, since
15.
then,
it was 15.
15. So there you go. He was drafted the same year the Broncos won the Super Bowl. He has served 56 games suspended and played in 43. And that's because that was due to substance abuse issues early in his career. He struggled with addiction issues and spent a lot of time in rehab. But I'm a big proponent of second chances. Yeah. I love giving people a second chance. And here's how I look at it. By 2018 he cleaned up. It really seems like by 2018 he cleaned up, and he has played very, very productively. And now he's getting a second chance being given to him by a different organization that wants him in the Denver Broncos. And also one of the substances he struggled with just so happens to be
legal.
which happens to be legal now. And under the CBA, he can only be suspended for a maximum of 3 weeks now.
And what I like is the fact that he recognized the problem, admitted that he had the problem, went to fix the problem, and now is working on staying clean.
Yes, and I'm proud of him for it. He's done it, and he became a great leader in Dallas, a leader of the team.
Because there are some other players, or at least one other player on that team that is currently a free agent that has not admitted that they have a problem and that has not tried to fix the problem, and who I do not want on the Broncos.
You don't?
No.
Anyway.
Unless it's an orange pill, blue pill, and I'd have no choice. Yeah, yell at him. Scream at him. No, it's like Randy Gregory. And honestly, I think Randy Gregory is going to be one of those guys that is able to turn things around and be a top 5 pass rusher in the NFL. I am very confident in Randy Gregory.
All right. So those are our big ones. I'm sorry. There's a few that we've got in free agency that I've missed that we haven't really gotten a chance to talk about. But the big ones, the ones that are truly like day one difference makers for the Denver Broncos, we've managed to get to today. Do not miss our other shows. On Tuesdays, you got the MHRT. I'm sorry. We are the MHRT Network. All of us are the MHRT Network. It's an umbrella. Get under my umbrella. All right. No, sorry. That's not a Sierra song. We can't sing it. Never mind. We are the MHRT Network. Okay. We have shows. This is the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. I am the host, Johnny Baki, normally joined by my co-host and best friend, Isaiah Henderson, who could not be here tonight. 7654, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch every Thursday. Do not miss our other shows. The 5280 podcast, newly branded, on Tuesdays, same time, same place. Wednesdays, currently, our video series, Broncos Breakdown, featuring Bronco Bill, the oldest member of MHRT. Same time, same place on Wednesday evenings. We've got other shows getting ready, coming up, guys. Get ready. It's going to get exciting.
Ooh, it's gonna
be I'm not going to, I can't spill the beans because that guy over there would kill me if I let slip what's planned.
I don't want to tell anybody because I don't want anybody to steal it. It's that good of an idea.
I don't want anybody to steal it. Like we came up with this idea and we don't want anybody to steal it. So just get ready, guys. Big stuff coming up. We're very excited. So one last time, I need to remind you of one thing and one thing only. The Denver Broncos have Russell Wilson as their quarterback.
Who?
Gosh, it's like a fix every single time I say it. All right, so
starfish oil. You got
no. We are Denver. We are the Denver Broncos. We do not need starfish oil. You keep that to yourself, Aaron. That being said, all right, for the new members of the NRW crew and the MHRT fam, we are going to end the show with the Mile High Five, which is something that began here on this show, and we are trying. We will. We are determined. Don't you dare.
My show.
Don't you dare, you liar.
Hey,
I'm the first. No,
I'm the first one to get a player to do it. So,
I don't care. I do not care. I don't care if that was the same first player to flip the first light bulb. Edison invented it, okay?
That was Bill.
Oh, you're right. So you're right. Okay, Bill flipped the first switch, but Edison invented the bulb. All right? So no. It was the Mile High Five started here on the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast, and we are pushing it out to Broncos country until it's done in the stadium. So what you're going to do, you're going to put your hands out. I'm going to scream Mile High Five. You're going to clap above your head as hard as you can. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Mile High Five.
Let's go.
That was shut up. You're fired. Thank you, NRW crew, and thank you, Broncos country. I normally sign off by saying we are out of here, but now, in the interest of our wonderful new quarterback, Russell Wilson, there's your last reminder, I am going to just say, let's ride!